Thank y'all for sharing. I appreciate it. I still do check who's doing the sharing. Why? I don't know. It's my control. There's a way that I can prioritize who actually is in it for the entertainment or who's in it to modify something. It is not entertainment. We need to change the world. We got work to do. Good morning. I want to talk about the media for a little bit. For a bit. I don't think it's broken. I think it's working. I think it is a fine-tuned engine. I think the media is like a child, and we have trained it to give us exactly what we'll tune into. That's what I think. Share. I'm bringing comments over here. Good morning, people. Good morning. Let's put this. Where are my angry faces? I need to get angry faces. That's the only way that I know that I'm saying something. Why? Because the media, the media shows you what you tune into. I don't know if you know that. It's like watching Hillcrest or Dallas or Falcon Crest. Y'all remember them shows? The only reason that Guiding Light stayed on television, I think Young and the Restless might have been the longest running show. There they go, they got angry faces. Like, the news, I saw it on the news. I need to do what the news told me. The only reason that the longest running shows are sitcoms. Why? Because you tune in and they keep showing you what you need to see. And what do people tune into? I don't know about you, what I used to tune into. I tune in what scared the hell out of me. I tune in what scared the hell out of me. And I was thinking about it this morning. Hang on, let me see, can I post it? I was thinking about, I'm like, we watch the billionaires news to get upset about things that we want to get upset about. And we go vote for the billionaires candidates to fix the things that we're upset about in the billionaires news. And I'm just like, the education system is well, but it's not an education system. It is a suppression engine. Please stop calling it an education system. It's a suppression engine. We've got phenomenal, wonderful, great teachers in the suppression engine, but they suppress critical thought, and this is why we got the problem with the adults we got. But the media isn't broken. The media is actually working. It's showing us what we'll tune into, and they sell advertisements based on that. And what scares us is what we tune into. Think about it like this. It's like night terror. Night terror. How many nightmares you've had ever came true? Think about that. How many nightmares have you ever had that ever came true? Almost none. Then why are you so damn scared? What are you scared about? You know, one day you just said, well, Daddy, I ain't scared of the night terrors no more because there ain't no claws under my bed, Daddy. I finally understand you and open my closet enough and ain't nothing in there. Ain't nothing under my bed. I get it, Daddy. I ain't scared no more. And how come as an adult you can't do that? How did you lose that functionality when you became an adult? To like constantly, every election, like, all right, there's nothing really to be scared about. This climate change thing, oh, Lord have mercy. They're scaring the hell out of people. Somebody told me that they backtrack on that. Did y'all hear about that? Hang on. I need some creepy music. I'm going to play it for a minute. They don't like the creepy music. But did y'all hear how the UN supposedly backtracked on climate change? Apparently, they got everybody too damn scared. The climate's changing. We don't know why. We need to put some metals in the air to jack up Gerard's allergies and cause lung disease for pharmaceuticals. They scare everybody. But how many things on the news do you see actually come true? I can't do the creepy music. I'm sorry. That's a little too freaky. I ain't doing it. No. I don't like clowns, man. I don't like no clowns. But just think about, you watch the news. How many of those things actually came true? How many? In your lifetime. Is the news something that should still scare you into voting? The billionaires news should scare you into voting how the billionaires want you to vote. Think about it. It's like the closet. The media is the closet. Are there really monsters in there? Or are they just telling you there's monsters in there so you'll crawl under the covers and yell for mommy and daddy? That's what I think it is. I don't think the media is broken. I think we trained it. I think we broke it. Bill Clinton did his part. He definitely did his part. And Megs, that's a problem. If you like creepy sounds, and that's no, you got issues, girl. I love you to death, but you should be in a clown show somewhere scaring children. That's creepy music. I don't like to get scared. That's why I watch the news. I don't like to be scared. Megs, I don't like to be scared. When I was a kid, I used to have nightmares. That's why I like zombies. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, go watch Night of the Living Dead. I might change my background to Night of the Living Dead. I watched Night of the Living. You know why? Because the zombies, you couldn't catch them. You couldn't catch me. I was a little chubby kid, but I could move. You know, you got a belly. Like, don't let the belly fool you. You think these big people can't move? They can move. They can move. It's all about center of gravity. I used to put my belly forward. Boy, you just get to running. And I had a big head too. I'd like lean that forward. Boy, once you get up speed, the zombies will never catch you. I used to watch then they broke the zombies. What was that first movie had the zombies running? That's fake news. Everybody knows zombies don't run. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead. Because in this case, this is my world. I can use my own fear. Night of the Living Dead. Let's find a Night of the Living Dead background. Because it's all about fear. If they can scare you, and maybe in that analogy, you just need to pick something that you can outrun. You need to think about me when I was 8 years old and I picked something I could outrun so I wouldn't actually have to be scared of the real thing. Pick a media station you can run from. Night of the Living Dead. Well, you know what? I'm not seeing the pictures I need to. Night of the Living Dead. I need a zombie picture. I like zombies. And then the Zombie Land's coming back out. Zombie Land is coming back. Here we go. Night of the Living Dead. Ooh, I'm going to put this one up. This is one I want to put because it'll trigger some people. Some of y'all people still focus on skin color. I'm gonna put this one up. It'll trigger you. Y'all think jungle fever's new? Jungle fever ain't new. And plus, interracial people, you still need to breed farther and faster and more. You're not having enough children. I still think that you might be able to save us. Breed one of the points of conflict out of people. Make sure nobody's a pure anything. As long as nobody really is a pure anything. As long as they don't look like they're pure anything, then keep guessing. I think it's important to keep people guessing. Hang on, let my background come down. It's downloading. As it finishes downloading, I want to do a Night of the Living Dead. Oh, you know what? Oh, no, I don't know. I changed my mind. Never mind. Found a new one. How y'all doing this morning? Everybody doing good? What y'all scared of? Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden is scary dude. Yeah, and he's scared because there's an analogy there, Courtney. Because he's scared the hell out of people on this side or that side, and they're like, oh no, I gotta vote the other way. Because everything's being done on fear anyway. That's what the TV does. All right, let's do this. Let me ask another question, because I know I'm gonna get my climate changes here. You don't believe in climate change? No, I never said that. Did I ever say I don't believe in climate change? I never said that. What did I say? I said somewhere on Mars right now, Martians looking up at the sky and like, damn it, Martians are causing Mars change. Because you know the temperature changed on Mars too, all over the solar system. That's why I kind of lean to some of these theories about the sun thing, but I always fall back on if somebody predicted the future, if you had a prophet president and that prophet president said in the future we gonna change the climate, then I still believe he's an insider. I'm gonna go with this one. I was gonna put the jungle fever picture up, but I'm gonna do this one. I like this one. Why? Because I can outrun all of them. As a kid, I can outrun all of them. As an adult, I think you can outrun them too. All right, good morning. But geoengineering isn't real because I don't read it. I know, is that how that works, Todd? I didn't read it, so it can't be real. It ain't on the news. The billionaires ain't talking about it, so obviously it's not a bunch of different countries modifying the weather because they want to grow more corn. It's not them causing climate change. It's the people. So we're going to fix the problem by taxing you. Why? Because it was on the billionaires news. Now they're doing it. Somebody tell me about this. I heard that, let me change the news. Let me go back. No, we're not doing preview. I heard that the UN backtracked. What's that about? That they got people too aggressive and they're scared of the protests. Now you got, they made the activists and they just scared everybody too bad. So you got a bunch of protests happening. So now the UN is backtracking. What is that about? Anybody know anything about that? Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Lori. Corporations will protect me from the pollution of corporations. Yes, they will, Ty. Yes, they will. Because the news says it. It's in the news. The billionaires, the news works. Whatever they scare you with, whatever they scare you into doing, you're supposed to go do that and it solves the problem. The mainstream media is a psycho-propaganda. The Corbett Report, Gerard, Mark Pacio, Adam Green, Chris Boylan, Activist Post, Post TV, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, exactly, Brother Water. Except you take me out of that. I'm not in the fight. I ain't in the fight. I'm not in the fight. I'm a spectator, Walt. I'm a spectator. I'm gonna let them brothers take it on. They like to kill people that fight billionaires. I ain't fighting billionaires. I'm kind of on the billionaire side. I'm kind of on their side. I am. As long as people are consenting to it and people are voting for it and they believe it and they get scared in the news and then they go out and they change their behavior to exactly what the billionaires want. I don't know, Walt. I'm just not a slave that fights the plantation. I'm not in the fight. I'm a slave that hides behind the bush. I'm gonna hide behind the bush and I'm gonna watch everybody picking their cotton, and I'm just it don't work out too well for the slaves that in the vanguard ending slavery. It didn't work out too well because the slaves will tell on them. The slaves will string them up. The slaves will say he got hate speech. The slaves, they say he ain't paying his taxes. The slaves will turn you in. They'll string you up and they will whip you, and master will just watch. As long as people are kind of agreeing with this stuff, I'm just sitting back and I'm kind of hoping the world doesn't end while I'm on it. But if it does, that's how it goes. I'm not really in that fight. Those are big dogs. You get big, that's when they come to you. Let me see. My stepdad, while watching Fox News, sees Roundup is safe. The lady just said so. Of course, Susan, because it's in the news. The billionaire said it. So it's safe, so you should vote for a president that's giving Roundup discounts. What do they call them things? Stipends, right? Was it stipends or when? What is it called when the oligarchy funds the corporations that are poisoning the population? What is that called? Subsidies. The government gives Monsanto and the chemical industry subsidies to poison the food to cause cancer because they're fighting healthcare. They're fighting the healthcare costs from getting too low. They got to keep them high. So it makes sense. And people watch Fox News, and it's about fear, right, Susan? So people are scared of the other side, so they watch Fox News. Fox News said it, so it's got to be true. From what I've heard others say, that the show, that show, yes, is foretold event to occur in the future. Well, yeah, in terms of climate change, if that's what we're talking about, the climate's always changed. It's how the planet works, it's how Mars works, and the moon works, it's how the sun works. There's geoengineering, which is a thing, and I kind of agree with JFK on that one. I don't think that they should have secrets. All right, I can't look at that screen. I got to look at this screen because that's going to hurt my eyes. All right, that's better. Now I can see. Good morning, Ivana. The corporations create ever-increasing waste, such as plastic, but you are the bad person for not recycling and deal with it. Right, but they blame it back on the people, like Ivana. Like, that's what I see all the time. Is the news, it always takes the blame, and it'll blame somebody that ain't got nothing to do with the conversation. They got somebody that has nothing to do with it. They'll take stuff and they'll go back and they'll blame people. And don't get me wrong, I mean, well, people got something to do with it. People, we got accountability, but if you orchestrate a world where you take the food stuff that they got to eat and they die if they don't have it, and you put it in cellophane, you put it in plastic, and then you kind of blame them for buying plastic, but you're the company pumping the oil and the political parties taking the money for the oil and the oil wars, and then you blame the people for it, and then people start recycling, but it's all unsustainable because what they do is they kind of give these band-aids and duct tape to problems that you can solve. Real simple problem. Don't pump the oil. Don't use the oil no more. Don't use plastic. Don't make the plastic, But they don't do that. Blame the people, make them recycle, and it's unsustainable because now China doesn't either. I do want to know what the UN said, though. That would be great. Oh, Ty reminded me yesterday, right? You can't trust Snowden, 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 because I trust Snowden. I do. I do, I'm sorry. I know Corbett did a great thing on Snowden. But it's how you break everybody. But you can't trust Assange any. I mean, I try to take these things and use them for benefits. Like, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust none of them. But I'll take whatever happened and I'll use it with some critical thought, right? Like, I'll take what Snowden says and he can, kind of focus people here, there, on free speech or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? Government shouldn't have secrets. And that kind of applies across the board, right? Assange, they say he's CIA now. Okay, well, government can't have secrets. Police shooting. Well, I say you can blame the police, or we can say government can't have secrets. Like, imagine if you found out who makes all the money for the prison industrial complex and writing all the laws, taking the rights of all the people that are turning the police into chasing slaves on the street. You know, the government doesn't have secrets. That solves everything. Massive whistleblowers, the government can't have secrets, right? Free energy, government can't have secrets, right? Government can't have secrets solves everything. Climate change, which is really, I think, just geoengineering, modification, exacerbation, plus the sun doing what it always does. Government can't have secrets, right? We know. There's somebody out there. They're going through the protest right now, right there. They're about to go to a climate change protest. But that's what I heard. The UN pulled them back. I'm gonna go straight to the news. We're gonna go straight to the news, and Ty said, but CO2, how dare you? Right, because CO2 is used in the growth of plants. Ty, I pump CO2 into my aquariums all the time. I am a climate changer. I am a engineering fool. Why? Because the plants, they grow faster. I have a CO2 device and it pumps, not just in the greenhouse, but I do it in my aquariums. I pump it in the aquariums and all the plants grow faster. Because I don't use CO2 in the aquarium, but you know, we're a special sort of people. We're a special sort. I don't even know where to go with that. It just boggles my mind. We learned about that in biology. Everybody forgot about it. That's a different CO2. No, the CO2 that grows the plants and the CO2 in the air is a different CO2. That was a CO2, or that's the person they believe in it right there. But you do CO2 injections, the plants grow faster. It's just how it works. All right. The banking crisis is getting worse as the Fed loses control. No, it's not how that works. It's not. It's not. That's fake. I'm calling fake news on RT. I'm sorry. I'm calling fake news. That's not how it works. If you print the money, you literally cannot lose control. You literally cannot lose power if you print the money. If you print the money, you print the money. And what is money? Money is a representation of human labor, power, and control. So please tell me how somebody who prints the control can lose control. You can't lose control, okay? It's not possible. That's fake news, RT. I love you to death. I know you got to say some lies every now and then to stay on television where you got somebody you're interviewing, but the Fed is not losing control. That's that narrative that makes people, you know, I tell people about the Federal Reserve and they start saying, well, Congress controls the Federal Reserve. Congress has no control over the Federal Reserve. So that's fake news. I don't even watch that unless y'all want. It's 28 minutes anyway. That's too much time out of my life. I don't have that much time for people who don't want to do some reading. As Ty likes to say. New hair. New hair. Rising discovery about baldness. Oh, that's baldism. That's racism. That's baldism. I don't know. Should I hit that? Will I look better with hair? Will I be able to buy and sell? Will I be able to pay my debts back from being born a human being in America if I actually have hair? Because at the time, hair wasn't in. Hair was dangerous. You were a pirate if you had hair. Which, by the way, I finished what's the name of that show? Black Sails. I finished that show. And I love, great analogies in that show. I think the pirates were the good people. I agree. I think the pirates were the good people, and they should have destroyed the whole world economy. They should have ripped apart the new world. They had a great ending, too. Great ending. Great little interesting thing. Actually, you know what? I like movies where the heroes are what you don't expect. And I ain't gonna give you a spoiler alert. I just think the Christians should watch it. That's all I'm saying. I just think the Muslims and Christians, I think y'all should watch it. I do not want to give a fake news ending. I think it will be a great show for you to watch. A great show for me to watch. I was raised in the church. All right, BB's last chance to exclude Arab lawmakers. I don't know. I mean, we know about Zionists now, right? Everybody gets it now, right? You know the difference between Jew and Zionist, right? We know that. We know how JFK died. We know who's behind that. We're not blaming Israel. We're not blaming Jews. We're saying there's a very specific small group called Zionists. And even within them, there might be some just people who don't get it, but the ones at the top. They got ties with the Federal Reserve. They were behind the USS Liberty. They were behind JFK. They were behind 9/11. And until government shows their evidence, they shows their hand, I'm agreeing with that. And I'm going with that. And I'm sticking with that. Why? Because if you're implicated and you don't defend yourself, then you did it to me. That's how it works. I'm a parent. That's how it works in my house. If I come in the house and it's 3 of them and the cookie jar broke, I always go back to parent examples. And the first one, like, I ain't do it, Daddy. I was in the living room doing my homework. And the other was like, I ain't do it, Daddy. I was vacuuming in your room. You probably lying about the vacuuming, but you okay. And the other one just quiet and got his head down like this. Like I ain't even come in or kitchen or nothing. That's how you know who did it. And every time these whistleblowers come out and say something, the American government like, y'all know that monkey on Facebook is a monkey? I don't think it's a monkey. It's some sort of a puppet or something, and he kind of keeps going like this, back and forth. That's how it is. Every time a whistleblower comes out and says something, the American government, the Canadian government, the UK government, all of them act like they don't see nothing. They're like aliens. Like. That's how you know who did it. That's how you know who did it. Jim Henson was a smart man. Yes, he was, Lori. But her message, Goldman Sachs cannot compete. Screaming teen girls. Uh-oh, I don't even know what that's about. Ty, I don't even know where you're going with that. Started the Dark Crystal series on y'all's recommendation. Ooh, I'm not watching the Dark Crystal. I need to. Why? Because it's more important than the election. I'll watch the Dark Crystal in a minute. You sit me down, you ask me what I want to watch, a debate or the Dark Crystal. It's going to be the Dark Crystal. It's just every time. You sit me down, you ask me, what do I want to watch? The billionaires debate about who gets to die and what they're not going to do. No, I'm going to go watch Netflix. I'm going to go watch TV. Damn it, I got Hulu now. Y'all in trouble. I ain't watching none of your politics. Macron gets back at Greta. Ooh, Thunberg for radical. What? Let's do that. Because I don't even know who she is still yet. I know y'all know who she is. I don't know who she is. It's getting cold outside. I got a greenhouse to clean up. I got plans to plant. I have a real life to lead. I can't really do Facebook as much as I used to. It's back at Greta Thunberg. That's her name, Thunberg? For radical antagonism. All right, I guess I'm going to jump into it because I have no idea what this lady is.
Hi.
A little girl.
Got a small favor to ask of you.
Oh, it's burning.
Please add your name to say you support our campaign. A campaign which is the most unprecedented campaign in the modern history of this country.
Unprecedented? Okay, now I ain't gonna do that. Did he say that yesterday? I think I saw that ad yesterday. Sign up. Ooh, should I click sign up? What in the post? All right, nah, it's too late. I couldn't sign up. The thing came, I was gonna press the button, let y'all vote. I believe in the universe, y'all. I believe in the moon, stars, the coconuts. Let them unfold how they're supposed to.
If you're a normal human being who doesn't work in the news or the media and doesn't live in a place where lots of media people live, and you tuned into the coverage of the UN this week, then you might have seen something incredibly disturbing. I'm talking about the 16-year-old Swedish child who was given a microphone to admonish the entire planet. I'm not even gonna say her name because, again, she's a kid and children should be left out of this mess. But the people using her to promote their cause of climate change are so hell-bent that they'll stoop.
All right, stop. Question. Should the children be left out of climate change? Question. I met somebody the other day. They was singing the praises of Greta. I don't really say anything anymore in public. People say stuff to me. I'm like, I get tired. I just like, okay, so now children gonna lead the way. They're gonna lead the way to the promised land. Now listen, and Ty is here, so I'm be clear. Let's be clear. I am in it for the kids. I am in it for the next generation. I am. But there is a plural letter on the end of that colonizer language that I put on the end of it. I'm in it for the kids with an S, okay? I'm a firm believer in don't put children on stages. I'm a firm believer. I'm sorry, I am. Have you ever been to a high school band concert? Worse, have you ever been to a middle school band concert? Have you? I'm against children on stages. I'm against it. I'm against it. You know who Bill Cosby even is. You know who Michael Jackson is. I'm against children on stage. Bad things happen when they get up there. They get them horns and they get the and it's just horrible. You're just like, oh my God, I want to go home. Like I'd probably rather go watch the debate than watch these kids do it. I didn't let any of my kids go in band. I was in band. I don't let it, because I'm not sitting through no hour and a half of silent night that sound like the night terror. I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. I just don't believe kids do it. I do not believe in child comedians. I do not. I don't think that they've been here long enough. I think children teach us. They do. They do. And my kids have taught me more than anything else has taught me about myself and the world, what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to be going, what the priorities are, all of that good stuff. But I am not about kid leading, okay? I'm anti-kid lead. I'm just anti-kid lead. I am. Because you know why? Have you ever been to somebody's house, and I don't know where this is going, but have you ever been to somebody's house and their kid runs the house? Have you? Have you? How long did you stay? Did you stay long? Did you stay long? Are you a successful parent? Are you a successful uncle or aunt or daycare teacher? Have you ever been to somebody? I know everybody knows somebody. I know everybody knows somebody whose kid runs a house. So let me ask you a question. What happens to the world if kid leads the way? Same thing that happens to the house where kid leads the way. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get in trouble. I ain't gonna say nothing. I have to chill a little bit because my examples are very real. And sometimes people are like, you talking about me, ain't you? Yeah, I kind of am. But listen, we all go the ways we go. I'm just saying, when kid runs the house, things don't go as they should. That's all I'm saying. They don't go as they should. Dishes, the sweeping, the floor, the mopping, the dog cleaning up. They don't go the way as they should. Kid is supposed to learn from adult, and then adult learn from the kid with an S. Okay? That's why I say it plural. All right? Kid's stupid. I love y'all. I do. Under 26, no, you should not be in prison. You should not be in trouble. You should not be subject to law. You shouldn't be anything because you are a default of whatever happens in this ignorant society. But I do not believe in kid lead the way. I will never go to kid speech, okay? I will never go to kid comedian. I will never go to kid anything. I'm not a kid on stage person. Kids need to be sitting in the audience because you break them. You break them. We're going to have a world of Michael Jacksons if y'all ain't careful. Y'all keep putting this kid, not that kid, but a kid in control, and y'all keep clapping, putting them on stage, giving them power over the adults. It's like the media. Why is the media broken? Because we train it to break, right? What do we tune into? When the car hits the cow, does anybody watch that? Nope. When somebody feeds somebody in Africa, does anybody watch that? Nope. When San Francisco decides to feed the homeless, does anybody watch that? Nope. But when homeless man fights 3 kids, you know what I mean? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? When war's breaking out, when the climate is changing and apocalypse is coming, everybody tunes in. So what are they going to show us more of? Are they going to show us more of farmer feeds 10,000 people on one farm that nobody watches, or something outrageous? And so we break the media. It shows us what scares the hell out of us. And then now we're breaking kids. All right, let's let Gretchen talk. Is that name Gretchen? No, Greta, which is a good stereotypical racist Swedish name, I think.
To using kids. They trotted her out at the UN, and she gave a very disturbing speech. It wasn't disturbing because climate change is real. It was disturbing to see people use a kid this way, and to watch this child have a complete meltdown out of fear. It was so disturbing, in fact, that Emmanuel Macron has even criticized.
Wait a minute, what y'all do? She had a meltdown? What the hell? And that's now I'm gonna get upset. I take it back. I might be taking everything I just said back. What the hell happened? And let me clarify. Who said that? Who y'all letting hear? Who said? Who? Oh, it's Courtney. Oh, she being facetious. It's a big word. I don't even know how to spell it. But all you guys making fun of Greta, how dare you? So let's be clear. I am not making fun of Greta. Quote me. You can quote me on that, Courtney. I am not making fun of Greta, okay? I don't make fun of kids. I always got kid back. I got kid back and I got kids back all the time. Whether they be white, whether they be black, whether it be Hispanic, immigrant, Iranian, I always got kid back. I got kids back, and I do not laugh at children. I do not laugh. Now, I laugh the hell out of the stupid people that follow them. I laugh, yeah, I do. Let's be clear. What am I making fun of? I am making fun of somebody that's 62 and listen to somebody. How is she? Is she 17? Was she 16? What is she? 13? And if she had a breakdown on stage, guess what? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? Who ascended her to the highest level? Somebody told me she's the highest paid activist in the world. Do you think the highest paid activist in the world isn't going to have a breakdown on stage? I need to see this. What was the breakdown? Because you put her in harm's way. You did that, dummy. You're 52 and you know damn sure better not to pay for concert tickets for a kid telling you about climate change, and the client scientists don't even know what the hell is going on. That's right, I didn't call them scientists, I call them scientists, okay? Scientists. Client science is the earth is flat. That's the new earth is flat. I'm telling you, client science is the new earth is flat. I don't know, because it's not an investigatory body. They're not investigating. They don't know nothing about JFK telling you that the climate was going to change if you didn't stop. They go all around that. They don't go nowhere near geoengineering, so I don't want to hear about it. They go all around how the weather's changing on Saturn, how the weather's changing. How the hell they know the weather's changing on Saturn and Mars anyway? All right, we're going to be back to Greta.
It, saying this approach is not the way to fight climate change. He called her antagonistic and radical. And remember, Macron is the French president, the leader of the country behind the Paris Climate Accord. Even he was like, what the hell is this? With this kid being given this position. The French Minister for Ecological Transition also pressed back against the child, saying you don't mobilize people with despair, with what is almost hatred, setting people against each other, which is exactly what this child did.
Did she?
It was like watching a child throw a tantrum. She's a kid. Remember how little you knew at 16? You knew the little bits that adults feed you. That's about it. You haven't lived long enough to draw your own conclusions about what's going on, how multi-level politics and society are. Imagine being thrust.
But it's not about conclusions, is it? It's not about drawing conclusions, right? In order to draw a conclusion, you got to do some research. It's like drawing. Anybody take a drawing class? You got to do research. You can't just sit down, I'm going to draw a human and just start drawing human. You have to do some research so you can draw a conclusion, right? You got to learn how to make a face. You make those circles kind of go like that. The ear's kind of a circle. You kind of make the circle go like that. You erase little bits and pieces. You make the eye a little circle like that. And that's how you draw conclusions. You got to do your own thought. But see, this is the problem. They don't want to draw no conclusions. They just want to put somebody on stage that everybody will bow to. And this is where Ty is right. Ty is right, is right, is right, is right. Ty right a lot. We don't disagree 2% of the time, but he's right on this, okay? They use children to abuse the planet, right? They use children to help corporate profits. They use children to raise taxes. They use children to not solve any problems and keep everything profitable. They use children to try to take people's guns and spears to restart slavery from the #1 weapons trafficker in the world. They use children because you don't draw conclusions, you turn on the news and they scare you into what makes sense, okay, to you. That's what it is. All right.
Onto the world stage with the knowledge of a 16-year-old.
Oh, she's 16.
It was so surreal and disturbing. Even the French didn't like it.
Well, Macron is not the French, all right? First of all, Macron, he is an antagonist. What did he say? She was antagonistical or something like that? He's a bourgeoisie, all right? Literally murdering people, war criminals, blowing things up around the world, funneling trafficking of weapons with America, not as bad as America. So see me, I don't listen to what kid killers say about kid or kids, okay? Not interested. That's why I don't vote. I like kids, I don't vote. I know whoever I vote for, they're gonna bomb and kill some kids, then they'll use kids to bomb and kill some more kids. And I think it's a contradiction. I think I got problems with that. I think if the system is made on bombing and killing kids, that's why I wasn't gonna sign up for Bernie Sanders thing, right? Because if he wins, guess what's gonna happen? It's not going to save any kids. So I don't care what Macron has to say. My issue is the people who put these kids in harm's way, because then adults have to say things and correct those kids. And you don't like the fact that kids get corrected. Why? Because you didn't do your research. Kids need to be corrected. That's why I don't agree with kid on stage.
Listen, I care about the climate. I'd love for this planet to remain a garden for as long as possible, too.
Remain?
Because
Hold on, sis. What's her name again? It ain't no remainings. There's no remainings in this. The garden, there's no Garden of Eden. Do you see a Garden of Eden? You see any Methuselah, anybody walking around 800 years old? Do you see anybody living forever out here? This ain't no garden. The garden was canceled. Okay, that project was canceled a long time ago. The garden is not a Garden of Eden. This is a earth that is rebalancing itself to get rid of the stupid monkeys that can't seem to grow up. That's what's happening. This is not we're not saving nothing. There's nothing to save. You got nations using geoengineering weapons and putting pesticides in the ground everywhere. There's nothing to save. Nothing to save. Okay? We can stop where we are maybe and try to push back another direction, but I don't think the climate's going to stop changing, because I think on Mars they're trying to do the same thing. And I don't think the Martian's going to stop Mars change. And I don't think the Earth thing's going to stop Earth change, because it always changes. The only difference is, are we looking out for each other? Are we preparing for it? Are we teaching farmers what to grow in areas where the climate is being changed? Because Congo won't stop making it rain over there, and Brazil won't stop burning their rainforest and fighting over the water with the weapons, the things that JFK told you. I think all we can do is prepare. Try to look out for people. And my other thing on climate change, if any of these anti-climate changes were serious, any of your leaders were serious, any of them, do you think for 1 minute they might try to reallocate 1 penny? Not 2 pennies. 2 pennies too much to ask for. Do you think they would try to reallocate 1 penny from the war effort? Just one. Just one. Do you think they'd want? They didn't reallocate 1 penny. They've asked for more. They've asked for the Trump budget exceeded the Obama budget, which exceeded the dummy budget in front of him. Okay? Yes, I said befront. I get upset. I say words. I make them up. Okay? They keep dumping billions more, hundreds of billions of more dollars to go blow up ecosystems. Okay? Those people don't believe in climate change. They believe in murdering people and blowing up things and stealing resources. None of them are fighting climate change. You can stop repeating the talking points and the kid talking points from your leaders. None of them believe in it, okay? They believe in taxing you, okay? That's the whole CO2 narrative. That's the whole CO2 thing. It's just to tax you. That's it. They don't care. They don't care because they don't believe. That's why part of the reason I think they understand what geoengineering is. It's just disaster capitalism. This is disaster kidism. That's all it is. We got a new word today. It's disaster kidism. They just use kids during disasters because they think adults won't chastise them. And some of us, we don't really give two damns what you think. We love you to death, but we got real work to do, and it ain't what the billionaires are telling you on the news, okay?
Am a normal human being. But to trot out a child and use her as a prop like that only hurt any movement for the climate. Because everyone with half a brain who doesn't work in the media or live in a city filled with media people and who watched this child speak was no doubt disturbed. It was so freaky and awful to see them use and abuse a child this way. I don't know where the hell her parents are, the opera singer and the artist, but they're awful. And so is anyone else around the kid who is letting her live in a perpetual state of terror just for their own power grab. If this is the kind of society we are, one whose elites use children in such an abusive way, then maybe, just maybe, this society is not worth saving.
Oh, did she go there? She went there. She went there. You know what? I got some friends. I got friends at RT. I got friends at RT? That's what I keep saying. I keep saying it. I'm sorry. I know. That's why I say I'm not in it. I was telling Brother Walt earlier, I'm not in it. I'm just sitting back and I'm kind of agreeing with the aliens that we shouldn't do nothing. We just have to follow the prime directive. I'm a prime director. I'm an alien wannabe. That's what I am. I'm an alien wannabe. I'm just sitting back just watching the planet and y'all do what y'all do. And I just, at this point in time, I don't think that y'all supposed to make it. I really don't. I don't think y'all supposed to make it. I don't think that we've evolved a creature that's worth saving so far in the bipedal thing that we call a human. He's just not there yet. You're just not there. I don't think it's worth saving. I think that whatever the sun is doing with these climates, maybe it's supposed to happen. Oh, is that Obama? Uh-oh, we was on Michelle Obama yesterday. Did I get in trouble for that? Oh my goodness. Please don't send me no PMs after I make a video. Don't do it. I don't read them. I love y'all to death, but I don't read them. Because I know what you're going to say. I know. You're never going to control me. I'm not controllable. If the government can't control me, you think you can control me? You can't control me. I'm going to say what I want to say. All right. What we got? Did I miss anybody? I got a couple comments in there. Oh, Gerard, what do you think? It takes two actually to get a human race to wake up. I need a kid at 16. I need a kid at 16 years. Because many in the SIC are tired of this Trump and all the dictators of the earth. May, I agree with you, and hopefully we're on the same page. I'm sick of all of them. All of them. It's not just Trump. All of them. I'm sick of all of them. I don't want none of them. The only positive things I'll say about Trump is he's crazy enough to say some things, and I'm upset with him because he only said Haiti was an asshole country once. I want him to say it weekly. That's the only thing I want. I want somebody crazy enough to say who we are. I appreciate him when he says those things, that we literally murder people to sell weapons. We need jobs. We need money in the bank, and we're willing to kill people all over this planet and funnel billions of dollars in the bank to get it. And so people can make a good decision. That's the only reason I kind of like him. He's crazy enough to do it. But in my pick on the other side, that's side A, B of the billionaire record, side B of the billionaire record, because they all work for billionaires. Billionaires run the planet, and if you defy them, you die. Would be Biden. Because I think Biden's crazy enough to tell us about like pedophilia and stuff and be honest. Like, y'all, we supposed to touch kids. He gonna get out there. He gonna get out there on stage and be honest. We had all the Native American kids, we touched them. We had all the African kids, we brought them here, we touched them. We had all the Irish kids, we touched them. We touch kids, it creates industry and jobs. I want Biden to get out there on stage and say that and see what these people do. I know they're gonna do, man. They're gonna clap. I know they're gonna clap. I know they're gonna clap. So he's got a good point. Maybe we should be touching kids. We're gonna have a Michael Jackson country, and I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Half the time, I'm just trying to figure out how do I get the hell out of here. Will Trump survive in the impeachment inquiry? Of course he will. He's making billions of dollars for the billionaires. I think he's doing a better job than what Obama did, making billions of dollars for the billionaires. So do you actually think they're going to put him out? They're not going to put him out. The left doesn't have anybody that's as controversial. As long as you draw the most charisma, the most hate, and the most love, you will always win. Why? Because if you can get people dramatically scared like the zombies in the background, you get to be president of the United States of America. That's how it works. It has nothing to do with votes. They don't even count them anymore. Then you know what? Do this. When y'all go to vote, do this. I want you to go, like, you know how you go open the curtain? Because I did it before. I didn't pull the lever on the blood machine before. I went in there and pulled the curtain and just cranked that lever down so the blood just flows out the black back of children all over the planet. Colonization lever, the slavery lever, the mass incarceration lever. I'd pull that lever, you know, to get reparations and be okay with slavery now and back then and all the profits, because I'm taking profits from it. So now I'm a partner in slavery and I'm an ancestor of slaves. I did that before. Just look behind the machine, see if it's plugged in. Just go just stop, because you get the line, you get up there and everybody walk up to the machine, go through the curtain. Like, just stop for a second and just ask, is it plugged in? Just ask if it's plugged in and look behind there and see if the plug is in the wall. I don't think they count the votes. I don't think they care. I think they could care less. I think they count the people going in to see who still believes in this nonsense, but I don't think they count the votes. Why? What's the point? Why would you allocate any resources to counting anybody's vote when you know the billionaires already bought the laws, the political parties, and the candidates? Why would they? It's a waste of resources to count any votes. It's a waste of resources just to use a CPU to count the votes. Counting the votes is completely insignificant, and all the politicians told you that. They told you. It's not like they didn't tell you. They told you. Started with Carter and Clinton and Bush. Bush ain't saying nothing. Bernie and Trump, all of them said how dirty and corrupt the White House is. The votes are not counted. They could care less. They're going to do what corporations tell them to do, because that's how an oligarchy works. Please read a book. Read Plato, read the Cretaceous. What's it called? The Cretaceous or the Chronometa? What is it called? The Cretaceous? That's what the dinosaurs, isn't it? Just read Plato. Plato explained to you what an oligarchy is. You cannot fix an oligarchy with votes. You only fix an oligarchy with mass dissent. Okay? I personally believe in the peaceful side of that mass dissent. The revolution is the unpeaceful side. Let me see. Another parent headed to prison in Varsity Blues. What? Whoa. Y'all putting more people in slavery? What's going on? Varsity Blues scandal. I don't even remember what that is. I don't know what it is. Y'all can tell me if that's important to click on. I'm not that interested. I don't think slavery should exist. You know, when the actual wealthy do crimes, they don't go to prison. When war criminals do crimes in America, they get cheered and get buried in funerals of great honor. So I'm not, I know poor people should be in prison because none of the wealthy go to prison. So they're not actually crimes. They're just crimes for the poor. They're just reasons for slavery, just 13th Amendment lies. Let me see. Not guilty. Michael Flynn associated, exonerated. I don't know who Michael Flynn is. To be honest with you, name's familiar, but I live a life and I'm not really worried about what's happening in the world. I'm not. Case dropped against pro-Brexit tycoon. Brexit shouldn't exist. Britain shouldn't exist. Britain's not even a place. It's a colonized central place that was colonized originally. Purdue PHARMA coughs up. Beginning of the end of the U.S. opioid epidemic? Nah. You think corporations will step away from that? Hell no. Why would they say, I gotta watch some of this? Because the big pharma is a big part of it. Like, they're the biggest voter in the world. If any of the votes count, their votes count. Your vote don't count. Their vote counts, your vote does not count, okay? That's how that works. Let's see what's happening. Let's see the opioid genocide projects where they're killing American citizens.
Hi, I'm Mike
on votes.
Papantonio, and this is America's Lawyer. Purdue Pharmaceuticals announced that they'd be filing for bankruptcy protection as they face close to 3,000 opioid lawsuits. This is a common move by businesses facing litigation on this scale. So tonight, we'll tell you what this means for pending lawsuits. And later in the show, a new study shows our drinking water may be polluted with cancer-causing chemicals, contributing to thousands and actually hundreds of thousands of cancer cases just in the past decade. Plus, a former judge has been kicked to the curb by a California high school for his previous mishandling of Stanford swimmer Brock Turner's rape case. Don't go anywhere. America's Lawyer starts right now.
Dun, dun, dun. First of all, no, I'm not going to watch that. But I will say the water part was interesting. That's interesting to me. No, the pharmaceutical companies don't care. You literally cannot sue them enough. They'll just take the money to reinvest it, get broken up. They got the money put away. They made billions and billions and billions. They'll pay off the lawsuits, whatever. Everybody's dead. They'll keep moving on. Depopulation, you're not hurting Big Pharma. Big Pharma literally owns the government. Like if people own the little corrupt judge right there and the whole Blue Jay, whatever that was, they own the entire Supreme Court. The pharmaceutical industry will not be victimized, will not be made a victim for killing hundreds of thousands of American citizens. Your government doesn't care, all right? They want retirement, they're gonna get it because you're about to go out and vote for them. But the water part was interesting. Y'all hear about the cancer in the water? Anybody surprised by that? Shocker, shocker, right? Like I laugh at this stuff because it's insane to me. Like they send billions of dollars overseas, and one of the greatest crimes in the history of the human race is happening in America right now. People going out there to vote for these morons who are sending hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries, one of them is Israel, while their people are at home dying of plagues. How many plagues we got in America? How many? Well, you know what, man? I mean, outside of the fact that these are artificial plagues, they created them. They're literally created by the departments that are supposed to be protecting you. Your EPA and FDA and all of them organizations. People are literally dying from plagues in the hundreds of thousands in America, and they're not investing anything to stop that. But they're sending hundreds of billions. It's like the climate change argument. They don't care. And you vote for them not to care. That's why they don't care. You vote for it so that the model works. You consent to it so the model is goody, goody, goody. And they're going to keep doing it. How many people here know someone died of cancer? You know how ugly that is? You know how disgusting it is to watch somebody just shrivel up to nothing and die? When a government that could have invested money way back then to investigate, how many times has cancer been cured? And their only response is to promote and cheer and place in power corporations that are putting more cancer in the water. Oh my goodness. But that's how they got Bob Marley. That's why it all makes sense. Government can't have secrets. They didn't put that cancer in his foot. But that's how they're gonna get rid of Americans. There's always a depopulation project on because the kings and lords always have. Nothing's changed since medieval times. So why in the world would the kings and lords stop trying to depopulate the citizens when there gets to be too many of them? There's no real reason why at all. Stunning 100 countries own killer military drones. Is this stunning? Is this stunning to anybody? Is anybody stunned? I'm not stunned. I'm not stunned, but we can take a look at it. Of course, because the killer drones are going to manage the populations.
The #1 rated Ego Power Plus blower.
Ego blower. That's the ego blower. Y'all, they got it. I'm sorry. I'm just processing. What the hell are they going to do with the ego blower? Goodness gracious. We got ego blowers. This is not new technology. This is old technology. We got ego blowers. We literally, oh my goodness. And that conversation's going to go a place I don't want it to go. But there's an ego blower in America. They made an ego blower.
This is a staggering 530 cubic feet of air per minute. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the industry's most advanced.
I gotta watch this. It's like an extension of the
Power Plus blower delivers superior loosening power, and runs for an hour
You
on
can't
a
blow it.
single
You can't
charge.
mess. You cannot make this up. You can't mess it up. Hang
The
on,
Ego
bye.
Power Plus Blower, exclusively at the
can't
Home
make that
Depot
up.
and
You cannot.
Ego authorized
Oh
dealers.
my goodness! Talking about some Eddie Bernays Freedom Stick, y'all. Does anybody here that ain't study Eddie Bernays in the book Propaganda and why women took out the torches of freedom? You need to. That's a torch of freedom. That's that's literally a torch of freedom. That was a Viagra. You literally just watched a Viagra commercial without the Viagra. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And men gonna go right out and buy it. Hell yeah! An ego stick, a blow stick. Ego blower. All right, I'm not going there. It's Daniel here. Y'all kick him out the room. We ain't gonna- Here we go.
All right, military drones are a booming industry now. In just a few short years, now almost 100 countries possess them.
Only
These
100.
drones range
That's
from
big.
surveillance capabilities to the deadly predator drones like the ones the U.S. use across the Middle East. Drones are coming to the forefront now because they are to blame for the blasts at the Saudi oil facility. Joining us to explain this enormous growth, investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, around a decade ago, it seemed like the U.S. had a monopoly on all of these things. What happened in the last 10 years that it seems like everybody has them now?
Yeah, well, what happened is what always happens. Technology comes along, it's developed, it becomes cheaper, it becomes more accessible, and other countries get into the mix. You're absolutely right. It's interesting. If you go back just to 2010, 2011, there were articles at that time written about the U.S. dominance of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs or drones, that are used in military functions. And what's interesting about that is there were articles at that time talking about what other countries should be allowed to have these, what other countries should the United States sell them to. Well, flash forward less than 10 years, and now we're in a situation where there are about 100 countries, about 95 of them, that now have some kind of unmanned aerial vehicle in their fleet, or developing advanced drone surveillance programs where they can run these. And we're talking about countries like Azerbaijan, Nigeria, that have these, as well as major advanced countries as well. So it's very interesting to see how that's changed. And by the way, 3 countries that actually run the market in terms of selling drones: the United States, Israel, and China.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, I mean, who is producing all of these things? Who's the number one producer? And obviously these 100 countries are buying them up, right?
Right. Well, when it comes to military drones, the United States and Israel still lead the way. China is right there with them. But China produces more of the consumer type drones than anyone else. And so the United States is, of course, concerned about that, as we're always concerned about everyone who does everything except for ourselves. And so the Chinese have about 25 to 30,000 drones that they put out into the consumer market. Those, of course, are not necessarily dangerous in any way. These are not the same as military drones. And there is a vast difference between the consumer version of a drone and a drone used for military purposes, like what we saw over Saudi Arabia. So, it's interesting to see this development. But look, this always happens. The U.S. leads the way many times in military because we spend so much money on military spending, and yet other countries then start to catch up, and we become concerned about the threat that creates. The thing that we create becomes a threat to us. It happens far too often.
And Ben, in a broader sense, do you think these drones increase the propensity for violence, or do they serve to sort of ward off would-be threats without a danger to a pilot, you think?
Well, that's the argument, right? The argument is always that this is safer for U.S. military. I think undoubtedly that is true. But to say that therefore it makes it safer or more strategic warfare or less dangerous warfare can be true, but it's not necessarily always true. For instance, just 6 days ago, 10 people were killed in Afghanistan because of a drone that struck a group of civilians who were there. Right. Not doing anything. And the U.S. has acknowledged that, yes, these were people who were not military fighters. These were not terrorists. It was a mess up. And that happens far too often. We know over and over that drones strike wedding celebrations, barbecues, all kinds of events. So there is a huge problem here in terms of accidental deaths associated with drones, as opposed to having soldiers on the battlefield where you don't necessarily have those kinds of mistakes that are made, because obviously if someone's there on the ground, they...
What's an accidental death from a drone strike? Hold on. Hashtag fake news. Not like this guy. What's his name? This is, I forgot his name. Ben Swan. I like Benny. But what is an accidental drone strike? What is that? Who is collateral damage? Who accidentally gets killed with a weapon designed to kill? Question for the team. Question for the group. There are no accidental drone strikes. There are no accidental deaths, and there are no collateral damage. You have people who are dumb enough to have a government that's constantly making massive murder weapons and sending them around the planet because they're out there voting like zombies. That's why I ain't voting today. Because they use drones and they kill people and they call them collateral damage. They're not collateral damage. They're literally called children. Children, that's what they're called. They're called old ladies. They're called grandpa and grandma on the farm, and you blew them to bits. There's no collateral damage. We are the #1 weapons trafficker in the world, and we need to own that. We need to be honest with that. We need to own it. We are the killers. We have become death. We have become destroyers of worlds. We make our money on destruction of ecosystems and destabilization of populations. That's how we make our money. That's how we make our money. That's how we make our money. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. You know, it doesn't surprise me at all. I just think only 100 companies have killer drones makes no sense. And this idea, do we feel safer with drones? Can somebody tell me, do you feel safer with drones? Does anybody who lives in a nation that has a USS Liberty and that literally the government let how many, 100 and something sailors get killed? They knew 9/11 was coming. If not, the insiders helped cause it inside the government and killed 3,000 people and 5 million since 9/11. Do you think, would you feel, let me ask you a question. Anybody live down the street from some Bloods and Crips and Triads and Skinheads? And would you feel safer if they got some drones? If they got drones, if you live in Africa and America sending warlords drones, do you think those people feel safer? Do you feel safer in Venezuela and we're sending drones to Colombia with a puppet government that we own? Nobody feels safer when you give psychopaths drones, okay? Drones aren't designed to grow food and drop seeds. They could be. They could be designed for anything sentient, but they're designed to murder people and steal resources, and that's exactly what they do. So there are no accidental drone deaths. That makes no sense. Yes, the Plato's Timaeus. Thank you, Susan, always on the spot. Bernie or bust? Who said that? Hollins? Bernie or bust? Yeah. You can put anybody in office you want, unless they got billions of dollars, if not trillions, and a death wish. They're not going to do anything for America. Iran doesn't have a Rothschild central bank. No wonder what they want war. Right, because you get it. You read books and stuff. He got eyes and he uses them and hands and he reads things. Right, we're not spreading democracy. That's never been the intent. We are spreading central banking, right? They came up with a colonized model for the world. They came up finally with a society where you can make armies of zombies like this who cheer for the media that lies to them, that's owned by the billionaires. They get scared what the billionaires say and they go and vote for it. They need that all over the world. And the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Mellons, all the people who actually control America, who the flag stands for which it stands, right? Those one nation under the billionaires with tyranny, oppression, and Rothschild banking for all, right? That's what it is. You read books and you understand. We've never been going to help. This is what Ty is talking about. We're never going to help the kids. We're going to bomb the kids and steal from their parents. That's what we do. We spread a model that takes hundreds of thousands of indigenous tribes, people who learn to live in sync with the ecosystems and nature and each other, and turn them into plantations of zombies that go out and vote and change their world. That's what we do. That's what we do. If you read, therapy, not drama needed. Yeah, we need a whole lot of therapy, Lori, but I don't think there are enough therapists in the universe for what's going on right now in the United States. We know we're disrespecting the planet, the climate changes, and what we need to do is change and survive. We lack the will and the profit something. Yes, Susan. That's all we got. To me, that's the only discussion on climate change. The climate's changing. That's it. Done. That's it. I don't get in the debate. That's it. Climate's changing. All right. The water's rising. It's always rising, and the climate's always changing. We either are smart enough to prepare for what it's changing for, or we're not. And right now we're not. We're just smart enough to just look at the news and fight with other people. It's changing. No, it's not. It's changing. No, it's not. It's changing. No, it's not. It's just that ego blower. That's all it is. It's just everybody's just trying to get a bigger phallus. That's all. It's changing. No, it's not. We got more. We're bigger. We got more blood. Everything is a patriarchal contest, and it starts with the media. It's damn insane. But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying the theater till it all ends. I paid good money. I got popcorn, and I'm watching the nonsense. But we came to hope for. Whoa. But we came to her for hope. Oh, see. Ty, this is why you don't have a profile, Ty Van Jenkins. Oh, no, that's Natalia. You done got it back. You got your profile, but you ain't going to keep it. You ain't going to keep it. This is why you don't keep your profile, Ty. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny, y'all. It's not funny. I just had no idea who the hell you were. He came back, he was Ty Van Jenkins. I was like, who the hell's Ty Van Jenkins? And why are they so aggressive? Come out and find out it's Ty Natalia. That's where you're going to lose that profile. I'm telling you. You're going to lose that pro trying to tell them that they're pimping this girl out. And that's exactly what they're doing, pimping her out. Because that's what we do. We are pimps. This is a pimper's paradise, baby. Bob Marley said it, and he said it right. We are a pimper's paradise. And like Harley said, we are rolling out. We're just finding other nations to strut for the raw child. That's all we're doing. Put on some pumps. Send them the fur coat, get them some makeup, and get them to sell their people out. And if they can't, then we'll bomb the hell out of them and find somebody else who can. And that's what drones are for. See Dr. Sebi about cancer. Thank you, Patricia. Cancer's been healed many, many times. Sandra, who's that? Patricia? What did I see the other day? Somebody else cured cancer. Like back in the 1940s, he made some device. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He used electromagnetic energy that was, goodness, what did he do? I watch so much. It's just so much. There's so many rabbit holes. But he made a device because he found out the frequency of viruses and the frequency of certain viruses and diseases that cause cancer. A lot of things cause cancer. This is one of them. He figured out the frequency and he used an electromagnetic wave at that frequency to affect the cancer just enough and where I think the immune system killed it. This man started making devices. He got patents. Somebody knows his name. And then the guy from the AMA, I think it was the AMA, right? The American Medical Association, stopped him. They sued him, they banned the devices, and they put him in prison for decades. Cancer's been cured many times. Literally, what was his name? Somebody tell me his name. I might not get off of here till y'all tell me his name. But it was a very logical and scientific approach. Target the frequency of whatever that creature is, and that's it. And that's what they're doing with 5G. It was the 5G machine. That's what it's called. It was the 5G machine back in the 40s. They targeted out the specific virus that caused that cancer at that time that was prolific, and he cured tons of people. Tons of people. Made 15 machines before the AMA stopped them so they can get good retirements. And what do you think 5G is? It might be tuned to your frequency. Imagine that. Imagine if they can take 5G and tune it to just like Ty's frequency. Like, nope, Ty ain't doing no broadcast today. And you know they got 5G is rolling out to the stadiums. Did y'all see that? 5G is rolling out to the stadiums. They got 5G that's rolling out to the, yes, Dr. Reif. I think that's him. The right frequency. Yes, look at that's why I travel. That's why I mess with y'all. That's why I travel with these people. Because I don't have to remember nothing. I can sit here and just laugh and make jokes and they'll tell you the truth. Now go do your research. What did Ty say? Did you do your homework? Ty ain't say that in a minute. Ty also do your research. I like it when Ty type. I like Ty Jenkins better because Ty, what else? Ty, how many profiles you got? Needs to do your homework. Do you do your homework? That's what we need to do. When you start getting in these discussions with people and they want to talk to you about climate change, the Democrats, the Republicans, the America versus China, the China's taking our jobs, the S.O. When the people like don't want to start talking to you, did you do your homework? No. I didn't ask you a question. No. Hey, whoa. Slow down. Did you do your homework? No, did you actually do your homework? Or did you do like Lil Gerard did and he just look at the bolded, look at the dark bolded letters in the book, then just like circle that and highlight it and study the bar. This is a secret. I think education, the indoctrination system has changed. The suppression engine is different because it's not an education system. But what you used to act, what you could used to do, I got B's all through grade school. All I did, I looked at the bolded letters and I studied that. I didn't study nothing else. I didn't know the context of nothing. I didn't really care. I just realized that all the tests, all the multiple choice tests were always about the dark bolded word. I would just start studying the dark bolded words, and that was enough to get a B or C, and I floated right through all of it. But I didn't do my homework. I did not do my homework. Check that people do their homework. But give them this, so go study the right frequency. Go study that and come back and tell me if you believe in the AMA. Go study that and tell me if there actually is a war on cancer. Tell me if there's a war on cancer. Ain't no war on no daggone cancer. Cancer is a business. It is a industry. It is a commodity on Wall Street, all right, which is a black market, and they stole everything off from around the planet. They took all the slave markets and they renamed them Wall Street. Drone's eye view of spectators and bombers. Right, that's the other purpose of a drone, Rebecca, is to keep the citizens in line. Let me see. There is only one pressing question in all the global politics today, other than the incest threat of nuclear war. Will technology serve? Right, will technology serve or control humanity? The rest is theater. Brother Robert, oh man, I always appreciate. I love you, brother. That's just always spot on. That's the only question. They're rolling out the technology. Are we going to use the technology to continue to be controlled like slaves? Or are we going to say that's it? That's it with corporations. That's it with governments. That's it. We're now going to take the collective intellectual property of the human race and use it for the betterment of human race. You're either going to use it to feed children or bomb children, but there is no in the middle. There's no in the middle, and that's what, to me, elections are for. It's for people who think there's a middle. There is no middle. The technology is going to be used to control you, or it's going to be used to kill you. Worse than that, Robert, worse than that, because it's not even them. It's probably their kids. The robots are going to be used to make a better life for your children, or they're going to be used to murder your children. That's the only thing that you need to decide. And you're going to align with a group. Ask that question before you register to vote. Ask that question before you register with that group. What are they fighting for? Are they trying to use technology for the betterment of the species and the planet, or for the destruction of it? That's it. There's nothing else. There's no black and white. Nope. There's no Muslim and Christians. Nope. There's no Republicans and Democrats. No other sides. Those are the only sides. A future or no future. Farmers in the field were killed in Afghanistan. That's right, Ivana, because they don't care about farmers, but they kill the farmers here in America too. Ben Swan is awesome. Yes, he is. Eileen, I agree. Screaming children equal science. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm surprised. Y'all, you ain't gonna keep that profile. Screaming children equals science, and screaming adults equals politically correct. That's what it is. It's correct. If there's enough of them and they're mad enough and they're yelling, they got snot bubbles, then it must be true. Because apparently passion means equals true. Ben covered Pizzagate. Did he? Disappeared for a year. Hey, Patricia, I ain't reading none of your comments no more. You get me in trouble. You got me in trouble all day yesterday. Everybody mad at Michelle Obama. But I seen the workout video. She ain't got no Sean Cologne thing. And that's why I agree that everything is about control. It's just emotional stuff to get people yelling and screaming. Adults are big, mean poppy heads. Exactly. We should kill all the adults, right, Ty? Because that's what the kids say. After last night, Palestinians, there was no two sides in that issue. What? After last night, Palestinians. What happened last night, Robert? There's no two sides in the issue. Well, you know me, there's no two sides in the whole Palestine-Israel. There's no two sides. People live here, people live there. We got enough resources for everybody. And anybody's upset with where they are, we just give them some more pools, give them some drones, give them some food, give them some whatever they need to make them happy with where they are. And we can do that. And we got land over here too. We can undo the British who did this, right? Because they gave 3 promises of the land, and that's what the fight's all about. You know, you don't have to pick a side. You can say everybody's gonna stay where they're at. Everybody's gonna get what they need, because there's no more debate about resources anymore. We have enough resources for everybody. Got enough food, houses, waters, and Ferraris. We can 3D print anything we choose to. We can make everybody happy, but people are starved into conflict. You know, I don't see any sides in any of this. I'm not on any sides. It's just, you know, be smart or don't. Be smart or don't. You know, either technology is going to be used to resolve conflict, or it's going to be used to cause conflict. One's going to save the human race, perhaps, and the other's going to end it. Those are the only options. Nobody gets outraged when the U.S. kills innocent people, but starts talking about climate change is a different story. Yeah, Yvonne, I don't let them outrage me. I don't get into it. I ask them if they do their homework before I even get into the discussion. I don't talk nothing about anybody. Do you know what geoengineering is? Okay, no, I don't. Okay, you need to go study. Go out to geoengineering.org, Brother Dane Wiggle, look it up, or just go look out JFK and climate change and hear from a president insider explaining to you that we will cause climate change if we continue to use this technology. That's called an insider, all right? That's called a whistleblower. He blew the whistle. And do you think JFK is a climate scientist? No, he's a sitting president who has access to details and information and the engineers who actually work on the technology. And he's probably sitting there one day, JFK, and I can't even like do an imitation of him, but he's probably sitting there, one of the engineers, hey, Jay, come on, man, stop. I'm over here with Marilyn, leave me alone. They're cheating on his wife. He was cheating on his wife, wasn't he, with Marilyn, something like that? Hey, Jay, Jay, what? Like, look, dude, that geoengineering stuff, they're gonna use that to fight over water in the future. They're gonna make it rain with the clouds on their land only. They're gonna change the climate in the future. You need to tell somebody this. It's like, all right, man, I give a speech. Let me finish. And then JFK gave a speech and said, y'all ain't gonna change the climate. And now here we are, 40 years, 50, 60 years later, how long we are? And they're actually out there yelling about climate change. JFK was a prophet. Somebody he said that this is gonna happen, and now it's happening. And nobody's focused on that. That's what I'm saying, it's not climate science. It's not climate science, it's flat earth. That's all it is. Because all a flat earther is somebody who doesn't look at all the details. But I'm not disagreeing with flat earth. I ain't disagreeing. I ain't never been to space. I'm just saying there's a little more investigation that you might want to do. All right? And it's the same thing with climate scientists. They're scaring the hell out of you. It's a little more investigation you might want to do into those patents, geoengineering, what your sitting president told you at the time that these morons were trying to change the climate, or that they would on accident. Let's be honest, they would on accident. And now it's happening. And nobody, he was a prophet. He predicted the future. Nobody's going back to that. All right, I gotta get out of here. This is Gerard. Y'all have a great day. The media isn't broken. We trained it to lie to us, and now gives us the most emotional story it can to promote the billionaires' projects to scare us into voting for whatever projects they bought from the politicians in office. Stop being scared of the news. We broke it for us, but it's a fine-tuned engine for them. We trained it like you train a child by not spanking it. You spank the media by turning it off. All right, this is Gerard. Get on. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a great day now. I am out of here. Bye-bye.